America's new F-15EX unleashed, more lethal than you realize. The Boeing F-15EX Eagle II is an American multi-role fighter derived from the McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle. The aircraft resulted from U.S. Department of Defense (DoD) studies in 2018 to recapitalize the United States Air Force's USAF tactical aviation fleet that was aging due to curtailed modernization, particularly the truncated F-22 production from post-Cold War budget cuts. The F-15EX is a variant of the F-15 Advanced Eagle, a further development of the F-15E design initially intended for export and incorporates improved internal structure, flight control system, and avionics. The aircraft is manufactured by Boeing's St. Louis division, formerly McDonnell Douglas. The Advanced Eagle began with the F-15SA, Saudi Advanced, which first flew in 2013, followed by the F-15QA, Qatari Advanced, in 2020. The F-15EX had its maiden flight in 2021 and took advantage of the active export production line to reduce costs and expedite deliveries for the USAF. It entered operational service in July 2024. The F-15EX is expected to replace the remaining F-15C divided by D in the U.S. Air Force and Air National Guard for performing homeland and air defense missions, and also serves as an affordable platform for employing large standoff weapons to augment the frontline F-22 and F-35. The Advanced Eagle in this configuration represents the current baseline in F-15 production. 4. Development. In the 2010s, the United States Air Force, USAF, was facing an incoming shortfall of its fighter fleet size in the 2020s due to deferred and downscaled modernization plans from budget cuts following the end of the Cold War in 1991, and the focus on asymmetric counterinsurgency warfare after the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. The USAF's procurement requirement of 381 production F-22s to replace its fleet of air superiority F-15A to D fighters was curtailed to just 187 in 2009. In order to retain adequate numbers of air superiority fighters, the service planned to extend the service of 179 F-15C/DS to the 2030s, well beyond its originally planned retirement date. Also referred to as F-15-2040C or Golden Eagle, these jets would have upgraded avionics, including active electronically scanned array, AESA, radar, infrared search and track, IRST, and a new electronic warfare suite called the Eagle Passive/Active Warning Survivability System, EPOS. Some of these upgrades would be shared with the F-15E fleet, such as EPOS, whose development contract was awarded in 2015 to Boeing and BAE Systems. 5. However, by the mid-2010s, the F-15C divided by D fleet was aging beyond the point of economic sustainability and would not be serviceable by the 2030s due to structural fatigue, while the F-35 was facing delays, resulting in a requirement to recapitalize the fighter shortfall as legacy F-15s retire by the 2026. Restarting F-22 production was considered cost-prohibitive due to the high non-recurring startup costs of rebuilding the production line and sourcing replacement parts vendors. 6. 7. The Saudi F-15SA serves as the basis for the USAF F-15EX development. Meanwhile, Boeing had been developing upgrades for the F-15E for export customers, and a substantial update to the air vehicle design resulted in the F-15 Advanced Eagle Wing with around 8. The F-15SA, Saudi Advanced, was the initial variant which first flew in February 20, 2013, followed by the F-15QA, Qatari Advanced, ordered in 2017. 9. In 2018, following a series of cost assessment and program evaluation (OSD-CAPE) studies indicating that a mix of 4th and 5th generation fighters would allow the USAF to more affordably recapitalize its fighter fleet, the USAF and Boeing began discussing the F-15X or Advanced F-15, a proposed single-seat variant based on the F-15QA to replace USAF F-15C/DS. 10. Eventually, both single and two-seat variants were proposed, called F-15CX and F-15EX respectively, with identical capabilities. The USAF opted for only the EX to reduce costs since only two-seat F-15 models remained in production, and in 2019, 8 aircraft were included in the FY 2020 budget request. 11. This would enable the use of the existing F-15 production line with minimal non-recurring startup costs to quickly bring additional fighters into service, and also was a way to support Boeing's St. Louis division in order to maintain diversity in the U.S. fighter industrial base. 12. The F-15EX improvements included the AESA radar, IRST, and APOS from the existing F-15 upgrade programs, while combining the benefits of the F-15QA, such as the revised structure with a service life of 20,000 hours, new cockpit and flight controls, and the proposed AMBER, Advanced Missile and Bomb Ejector Rack system to enable the carriage of up to 22 air-to-air missiles. 13. An F-15EX on the assembly line, July 2020. Although it is not expected to be as survivable against the latest air defenses as the 5th generation F-22 and F-35, the F-15EX can supplement the former in air superiority missions by performing homeland and air-based defense, enforcing no-fly zones against limited air defenses, and deploying outsized standoff weapons in support of stealth fighters at the front line. 14. In July 2020, the U.S. Defense Department ordered 8 F-15E/S over 3 years for $1.20 billion. 15. 16. The F-15EX made its maiden flight on 2 February 2021. 17. 18. On April 7, 2021, its official name Eagle II was announced. 19. The FY 2021 Defense Appropriations Bill funded F-15EX procurement at $1.23 billion for 12 aircraft, bringing total orders to 20 aircraft with 144 total planned. 20. By May 2022, the USAF reduced its orders to 80. 21. The first operational F-15E/S are not to receive conformal fuel tanks. 22. The Air Force's proposed budget for fiscal 2024 includes funds to buy 24 more F-15EXs, 23, which would bring the planned fleet up to 104 aircraft. 23. In the proposed budget for FY 2026, $3 billion is set aside for the F-15EX, bringing the total to 129 aircraft. 24. Design. For the base design that the F-15 Advanced Eagle was developed from, see McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle. Overview. An F-15EX Eagle II from the 40th Flight Test Squadron, March 2021. The F-15EX is a variant of the F-15 Advanced Eagle family of aircraft, a further development of the F-15E Strike Eagle design beginning with the F-15SA for the Royal Saudi Air Force. The Advanced Eagle consolidated several upgrades to the F-15E developed for export customers, including full integration of the General Electric F-110, GE, 129 and the AN/ALQ, 239 Digital Electronic Warfare System, DEWS, that replaced the legacy TEWS, and introduced a revised wing structure for increased service life. An enhanced cockpit originally proposed for the F-15SE Silent Eagle and digital fly-by-wire control system that replaced the original hybrid electronics/mechanical system and enables the activation of 2 additional wing pylons wing with a frown 25. The fly-by-wire eliminated flutter modes causing stability issues that resulted in the 2 outboard wing pylons being deactivated in earlier F-15 variants. 26. Starting from the F-15QA for the Qatari Emiri Air Force, the Advanced Eagle introduced a further revised wing structure that increased service life to 20,000 hours, the new Advanced Display Core Processor 2, ADCP-2, mission computer, and a new cockpit with a 10x19 in 25 cm x 48 cm. Large Area Display, LAD, each for the Pilot and Weapon Systems Officer, WSO. Based on the F-15QA, the F-15EX incorporates the Raytheon and APG-82 V1 AESA radar, BAE Systems and ALQ 250 APOS, and the Lockheed Martin Legion pod with and ASG 34 V1 IRST-21.